she's like a quadriplegic. I'm not quite sure. She would use that and she would say like, oh, I'm like moving down like closer to where you are in Florida. I'd love to hang out with you. And I was like, I'm sorry, you know, that's like crossing my boundaries a little bit. Like I'm not gonna do that, but you know, I love your support and I really appreciate it. And you know, I'd be happy to give you some suggestions on like cool places around the area you're gonna move. And she did not like that. Started being so mean right away and started saying that I was like a mother effer, just ridiculous things that I was like, what? And then she would go back and back. I'm like, girl, you're obsessed with me. Please stop. Her one thing would be like, I just try to be friends with you. And I was like, I don't want to be friends with you. Like, you're insane. Like, please leave me alone. But yeah, it truly is unhinged. So I do think it's really interesting to hear stories from people who aren't content creators, people who don't have really big audiences, and being able to hear their stories of like, oh wow, you don't need to have a big audience and you don't need to be accessible to a bunch of people to have a creepy ass situation like this. Maybe I should. Did I fix it? I think I fixed it. I made my lights a little bit dimmer, so maybe I'll be less white now. Probably not. I know what it is. I don't have my overhead light on, but I'm just so like clenching my butt cheeks, and I feel like if I turn on the overhead light, it's gonna make me have to poop. Anyways, back to this woman's story.
He texted me like instructions on what to do. Long story short, it didn't end up working out. Like, it went nowhere. Then he kept my number, but he would keep texting me occasionally saying like, I would love to take you out to lunch or dinner outside of work. Like, let me know when you're free. And I thought it was a nice, cute gesture, so I did go out with him once to dinner. We went to like a restaurant. And at the dinner, I noticed like he would just talk all about himself and his life. He never would ask me anything. So I thought that was a little weird. But then I realized, okay, maybe he's just a lonely old man. He was married, he is married, but you could tell like he wasn't happy. But like I never saw him creepy in that way until like later on. So fast forward to like a year later, he comes in regularly at the bank as usual, and then he starts like bringing me free food, like lunch, without even me asking, without even letting me know.
Hey, that's weird. That's really weird. Without even like asking someone, like, hey, can I bring you lunch today? Or like, hey, can I bring you lunch? Or like, hey, what would you like for lunch? That is red flag times a million for me. I don't like that. I don't like the implication.
What would you like to eat? Well, my treat. So I never expected him to do all this, but he would bring me food. And on off days, he would also like give me a card. Like he would meet me outside the parking lot on my job, and he'd be like, I have something for you. And he would give me like a card, like a holiday card or something, and inside it would have like cash in it, and I would be like, oh, like you didn't have to do this at all, like thank you so much. I wasn't supposed to take cash from a customer, but since we were outside of work, I thought it was okay, but no, it was not okay. So fast forward to a year later, this was like around the time I started dating someone.
See, this is one of the instances where it's like you're doing things that it's just like nice gestures that you're accepting because it's like, okay, who wouldn't? But then it's also the patriarchy, right, of it all, where it's like, okay, like you're also a pretty woman who you're accepting gifts from someone, and you have to, it sucks that we even have to do that. You can't just accept something from someone. You have to make sure that they know, like, hey, this is no strings attached, or I don't have feelings for you. But then like that can make them feel weird, and so then you don't want to do that. You want to assume that people are normal, emotionally regulated adults. But you know, normal emotionally regulated adults, they don't do this. They don't do this.
Dating someone was a guy that I met. So I was dating him for a couple months, and I would tell him stuff like, there's this creepy uncle who likes to bring me food and stuff. He would say stuff like, you know, you need to be careful because like he could be crazy, he could be dangerous. And I would be like, no, he's just like a sweet old man who's just kind of lonely. Like, he sees me as a daughter. I call him uncle. And he's like, no, this just doesn't sound right. You need to tell him to stop. And I would be like, you're just overreacting. Fast forward to my birthday. uncle texts me to meet him outside after work in the parking lot, and I go, and it ended up being a very creepy encounter because he kind of like corners, like he parks right next to my car, and he blocks my doorway because he has his like car door open, which is blocking my driver's side doorway. So like he tells me to get in as I'm walking towards my car. Mind you, I'm walking out with my boss, my two bosses. They see everything that happens next. Uncle tells me to get in his car. I'm like, no, I can't. And then he's like, just for a little bit. So I have no choice because he's like blocking my doorway.
I have no choice, yes you do, and I understand. In that situation, probably feel extremely uncomfortable. It's like, okay, well, like, I just want this to end, but it just sucks because it's like, no, you do have a choice. You could scream in this person's face, be crazier than them. Honestly, don't do that. But like, it just sucks that like that's how we as humans or as women in general usually feel. It's like, well, I didn't have a choice. It's like, yes, you did. You did have. I'm not victim blaming. This is an empowering statement. You always have a choice. No one can take away the choice from you. I say that as I live in Florida and I don't even have like a choice, but you know.
So I slowly, reluctantly get into the passenger seat, and he opens the door for me. He closes it. He goes around to the driver's seat, gets in, and he says,
And then I realize there's no door handles and I can't get out. And then he says, you're going to come home with me and you're going to never leave. You're going to be my wife forever. Like, that's where this is going. It has to.
I just wanted to say, like, I love you so much. Like, I got you all these gifts, and he gifts me, like,
These?
a vase of flowers,
No.
a fruit tart, a bag with, like, some perfume or something I didn't even ask for,
No.
and a card in it that has money.
This one?
And I'm like, Uncle, you really didn't have to do this. And my manager is sitting in her car across a parking lot watching. I slowly, like, look at her. I'm like,
This one?
she just looks for a while, and then she drops off. And
This one?
so when she leaves, like, this uncle, he's like,
Don't
telling me
know.
how much he loves
Don't
me
know.
in the car. He reaches over to hug me and tries to pop a heel. And I'm like, oh no, stop it. I'm really, stop. I just freak out. And I'm so, like, shocked and everything. And I just tell him immediately, like, thank you so much, but I have to go. I have to be somewhere. So he's like, all right, I'll put your gifts in your car. Like, unlock your car. I'll put it in the back seat. So I'm like, then he puts the stuff in the car.
Yeah.
The comments in this video are, or in the comment section are making me feel a little bit better. Because yes, there is like, that must have been so scary, like how scary that was. And someone else, I'm so sorry, but you opened yourself up for this. And he was married. Do you think that he didn't want anything back? And she said, no, I truly didn't. And the same person said that I believe
These little baggies. Some alcohol wipes.
Another person said, girl,
You just
please
keep
be
handy.
patient.
Done.
Yeah, it just looks so sad. But
Wet
also,
ones.
you don't have to be, right? But
Of course.
no, you do have
The
to be.
remover.
Like, stop. I'm right there with you. We can't wear AirPods
Keep it
or
in the
earphones or headphones when we're running or at night. You can't go running at night, okay? And again, I'm gonna make it very clear, I'm not blaming her for anything like that. Like, that's very inappropriate. But also, when gifts and stuff like this are being given and like those boundaries are being crossed, and it's like, hey, what? No,
Nice and
like,
tight
you need
together.
to be firm with your boundaries, and when things start getting muddy or being crossed, it's like, unless you stop it, it's gonna keep going.
And then I immediately turn the car on and I race out of there. I call my boyfriend at the time. I tell him what happened. I'm like freaking out, panicking. And my
This.
boyfriend at the time was like,
Yeah.
"Don't
Oh my
go
God.
home.
This.
Come straight to my place
This.
in case he follows
Don't
you."
use any other one.
So I
They
go.
smell like sewer.
Next day at work, my boss
It looks like this.
calls me into her office. She tells me that
I
you need
also
to
have
stop.
the
Uncle, you could have put your life in
um,
danger. You need to text him
stoma
right now in front of me.
protector.
Tell him that you're not allowed to come into the
No.
you're not allowed to text me anymore. If you come into the bank, I'm not allowed to help you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I agree. The
Those
boss
are
did the
good.
right thing there. They did not do the
Gutters.
right thing by leaving her in the car with him. But again, she was getting married willingly, but still.
So then I get in trouble at work. I don't get like written up because my boss is like, what you did was stupid, but I'm gonna give you another chance. So you need to not see this uncle 6 months later, something happens. Now I'm running out of time, but I'm gonna put it in part 2.
There we go, fellas. I was gonna put it down. Open the door. This blanket is so amazing. I got some of the
And then not all over the place. It's just fucking under these discs. Okay. And then here we've got the tape.
We've covered California.
So
What you see is what you get. Healthcare that actually makes sense. Let's follow your plan together.
this is
He goes to the screen.
cleaner.
I can't see what
It's
it's
the
like.
one
I've seen it probably
that I
in
use.
the West End, but I've seen the show. I never did. I know exactly what happens. It's okay. I have everything on this. However, I can't see Wicked for Good in person, like in theaters, because every single time, even when it was Idina Menzel and the South State Kristen Wiig, even when it was them singing for them or any other parent, I cry like someone just killed me. Or like my
I also
husband.
use the
It's
the rings.
So she did part 2, and I wasn't gonna include that, but now I'm like, okay, what happened, girl? Did he die from a mysterious manner? Did you do it?
This is part 2. Make it ready with me. Story time.
So she starts off with part 2 saying that it was 6 months later after she was told him to not talk to her anymore. And then from there, she's still working at the same bank, and she gets in her car after work, and she sees that like her tire pressure light is on, and then she takes it to, I guess, like Costco Tire or someplace, and asks them to take a look at it, and they call her back, and they're like, hey, what do y'all think happened?
He calls me and he's like, hey, we checked out your tire, and unfortunately, it looks like there was a sidewall puncture in your tire, so it's irreparable, so we need to get it replaced. So I was like, oh, okay. And I thought, probably just ran over the mill or something, but like, what just happened? And he's like, oh, it could have been
These
stress
bags
for reasons,
are
like you could have hit a curb, or you could have
I use for just
awful
have next to me. I
was like,
just will
no,
tear
I
one
didn't
off
drive that
and I
much.
use
Like,
it with
I live near my job, and this happened right after I got off
one
my
of these
job.
bags.
And so he was like, okay, you didn't know. Later that month, the same thing happens again.
Listen, girl, as someone who has gotten a lot of sidewall punctures and has frequent custom to auto and tire, I love the guys that are over the point where they used to see me like 5 times a year. I'm not joking. I used to have to get my tire, like I would drive over nail all the time. There was also a lot of construction by my house, and then also a lot of construction by where I worked too. Like I worked in a new construction in the community, like selling those homes. So I was just driving through construction all the time, and of course there's gonna be like a random nails, and so I would always get, oh my god, it was so annoying. And of course it's always like just too far over to where they can't just like
What?
catch it in boys. But if you're not someone who has a lot of construction by you or something like that, right, and you live like right by your work, that is weird for you to, if there like isn't a nail still like in the tire, which the person who's finding the hole would have told you that. So that was weird.
Got one tire replaced, and then I had to get it replaced again. I'm like, getting my mind.
This wash
I'm
bag.
like,
I'm
okay,
gonna put it
I
in a
just need to drive
bag.
better, like whatever.
Go to the hospital. Now,
Same
here we go.
thing happens. I get a
Hospital
sidewall
overnight bag.
puncture on a different tire. I get another puncture.
So that's 4. She had 2. I think she had one in July. I think she had one in August. That's 4, girl. That's insane.
In August. So I get 2 all different times in the year.
So I'm just gonna pack myself a little wash bag with all my
Yeah,
yes.
I noticed that this would always happen right after work. You know, that morning I would drive to work, my tire would be fine, no lights on whatsoever. But when I would get off work and get in my car, that's when the tire would
So I always use one of these and one of these.
The last incident happened in February, but it wasn't a tire issue. This time it was my sensors went off. One weekend I had to park on the street because my sister from out of town was coming to visit, and she parked in front of the house, so I would park outside on the street of my neighborhood. And one day I was going to the grocery store and I turned my car on and I noticed like all my lights were on, and I was getting an alert from my So I was like so confused. I was like, how did this happen? So I called
That's
her
right, cute light.
immediately. I make an appointment.
It's all
The
stoma
next day
powder.
for them to check it out. While I'm there at the dealership, the technician calls me.
I tried them all.
The area where my car is,
This
and he's
one.
like, "Come here, I want to show you something." So then he
The worst.
shows me
No,
behind one of
throw
my
it.
front wheel
Run.
tires.
Don't walk.
Insert a picture, but he tells me that someone attempted to cut my brake line.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's attempted murder. That's attempted murder. Not really, but that's attempted murder. That is crazy. That is so scary. Oh
Another
my
box.
god.
Oh.
Part two is rare. I'll tell you what. Ooh, yikes. Wow, that's so scary. But you have to think, like, would if it was this guy, or like in this situation, like if you're not letting it get that far and you're still in front of those boundaries and you're not comfortable it is, and I understand you shouldn't have to do that. You should not have to do that. People shouldn't have breakers, right? People should be normal, well-functioning adults. But that doesn't happen, unfortunately. So you have to protect yourself. What do you do there? Like, would he have attempted to murder her to do the homicides? Like, if she wouldn't have, like, accepted lunch from him or accepted money from him? I hate that I'm even saying that, but it's like, you have to be so vigilant, you know? Also, I'm so happy that she's okay, obviously. So happy.
Super shocked. I'm like, what? And I'm scared, you know? Who would do this? I start crying. I call my sister. I file a police report. Police comes to my job, you know, a few days later to like question me about who I think the suspect is. My bosses tell me that they think that it's the creepy uncle who I cut off contact with. They're like, yeah, we think it's him because one time he came
I think
to
these
the
stink,
ranch
so
and
I'm just, I'm tossing them all. They're nasty. I don't want them out there.
Was a very bad person, and he seemed angry. He said there was very short little needles out of into to puncture my tire, you know?
Open.
Especially like in a shopping center parking lot where my bank was. Unfortunately, the property manager of that shopping center did not have any cameras in the parking lot, so you know, I wasn't parked to my bank where they could see my car. We just suspected that it was this
Nice and tight
uncle.
in there.
So the police asked me, hey, do you want me to question
Your
him?
head.
I was like, sure, but like, you know, don't mention me. So he goes over with his partner, questions the uncle. The deputy calls me back. He's like, you know, I think we're scared because I kind of mentioned that, you know, he needs to stop like harassing the ladies at the bank, but I didn't say your name, so I was like, okay, thank you. So he's like, I think that scared him. Long story short, I ended up getting transferred at work to another branch, and then I never get any tire incidents
No.
again, knock on wood. So I feel safer there. But my managers at my old branch tell me that this uncle's wife comes into their branch and starts looking for me. She thinks that I must have been his long lost daughter that he had from another person, you know, long time ago. And it's just crazy. My manager has to like escort her out. It's just crazy. So, moral of the story is do not be too nice. You never know who people are, and your safety always comes first. So,
Yes, girl. I absolutely love that sentiment at the end, and that's so true. It does suck, but it's like, listen, you don't be so accepting. You do need to have boundaries, especially when you don't know someone's intentions. Intention is everything. So I love that she finished with that. Also, she's so beautiful. So our next one is Maggie Williams, and in her caption of this, it says, "This experience changed me." So this one is a bit more, I don't want to try to compare trauma, but like on a sliding scale, this one is a bit more traumatic. And it says, "It was terrifying, traumatic, but if sharing my story helps anyone stay safe, it's worth it." There's more to the story than I could fit in this way, but I hope that it sheds light on how real stalking can be. Stay safe, ladies.
So I'm going to tell you this story, but I do want to reference my phone for notes because y'all, there's a lot to unpack here, and there's this extensive events that unfolded over several years. 4 years ago, I got an Instagram DM. And as a creator, you get a high volume of DMs. They're really hard to catch, but I saw this one and something told me to open it. So, I And it was a very, very flattering message of a young man who was trying to shoot his shot or court me, whatever. It was very flattering.
Here.
However, I scroll up and there are backlogged
I have
messages
my
that
scissors.
are years of attempts at reaching me. These are very little followers, and there's actually a really neat timeline here because I was in a public relationship with a man. You can see where he messages before our relationship became public. You can pause the messages following this relationship, and you choose the public that you and I are became very, very consistent. This individual had his city and state in his bio, which was states and states away from where I was living, like 600 miles away. So I wasn't worried about it, and I just ignored it, I just dropped the message, whatever. I continued to check my messages once a week because that is a common way for businesses to reach creators. And while I wasn't opening them, I began to notice that his name was popping up, like dropping over I refreshed my messages a lot.
Here.
Eventually, I did go to his requests once again.
Here.
Oh my gosh, this guy is reaching out to me all the time. So, whenever I do get his message request, I can see that his name has shifted from flattering to
There.
angry, and I can tell that me not responding is being perceived by this figure as rejection. And if we're not constantly, I have not blocked this person who may or will truly never know that I have anybody else. They want to know an accusation after what I do. So I continue to not block him and stay back alive. And that is until I start getting a Facebook friend request. That is what this person is. Keep in mind, at this point in time, I had a private friend and family on my account. So I get this message request, I'm like, I not only delete it, but I blocked his account. And the second I blocked his account, it was like the same day, he had made another new Facebook account and added me again. And this started a cycle. The faster I would block these Facebook accounts, the sooner he would make another one in an attempt to send me a request. Then he shows up in my TikTok comment sections and he's being very vulgar. He's saying a lot of false, angry things about me. So I continue to block him. But the faster I block him, the more he makes accounts. It was so unusual. And also at this point in time, I'm a full-time college student and a part-time content creator. And it became so evident that this man had more time on his hands than me because I could not keep up. At this point in time, I get another Facebook friend request from this person. But I actually do a deep dive on his profile before blocking him this time. And what I discover is dozens and dozens of posts of blonde women that he is infatuated with, myself included. But his other interests were like blonde political commentators. Tommy Lauren was his other one that he really, really liked and posted about. But I think all of them have political backgrounds besides myself. But what was really unique is that there was no common theme in these posts. Some of them he would be applauding these women, and others he would basically be calling as evil. I blocked that Facebook account, and I'm trying to move on with my life. Whenever I start getting cryptic emails from this person, and they are just very detailed, in-depth stories of essentially me betraying him throughout my childhood, betraying his family, and he paints me to be this evil figure in all of these stories. So at this point, obviously, I look up this guy's public record and I see that he is 6 or 7 years older than me. So obviously they are not true, but they're not even hypothetically possible. Like we were never children at the same time, we were never in the same classroom. So he's back here, it's like he is insisting that I do. It just becomes evident in these emails that he is genuinely angry and that he is convicted of a cause that I don't know how to explain to his who I've never met, at least in terms of relationship.
This is the type of story that, like, someone has the victim of class and maybe they are misdiagnosed with some type of disorder or are having, like, a schizophrenic episode, or I don't know, but this is the type of story that ends with someone driving, like, thousands of miles to literally end up in someone's front door and just, like, kill them. It's terrifying. It is so terrifying. I'll tell you what, no time like the present would it be a great idea for us to have free, not only free, but mandatory mental health care, like just therapy, free therapy for all. non-Americans who are watching this are probably like, wait, your therapy's not free. It's not, Deborah. It's not.
A few days go by, and I get a phone call from my mother. And this is very upsetting. I'm going to try not to get emotional. She asked me if I had seen the past messages. Because we posted a screenshot of the Google Maps aerial view of my childhood home when my parents raised me, that they currently lived in. And he was encouraging people online to ransack their house because they were bad people and they deserved it. This obviously broke my heart because first of all, my parents did not act big and evil. I subjected myself to being a mayor and to live public life, but they did not act like this. They are just good old country folks. They are God-fearing Americans who work for everything they have ever had. And so to see somebody that they don't even know
Another bag, a little bit.
put them in danger, that's what makes things stop working. So my parents contacted me to approve the things and not live in my state. State investigators cannot do anything. So we reach out to the state authorities, and they can't help me because I need $600 a month. The number one thing that everyone is encouraging me not to do is to get a restraining order because they say it's just a piece of paper and that will make things worse. So at this point, we have no contact.
What?
I mean, there is no point where we ever have contact.
Yeah, but if you make it to where he, like, yeah, he can't contact you, or if he doesn't contact you, okay, but that's not true.
Worst
It's
advice
not
I've ever heard someone do.
There's very many times when we're like, if you know we can have a restraining order, like, we'll get a clear proof, but we will absolutely be able to get a restraining order approved against this person. Like, no. Because I'm not going to sit there and lie and say I'm scared of it. I'm not. This person doesn't know that. But the thing is that, like, in this situation, I would have done that. If someone was encouraging people on the internet to my parents' house, I also would be sitting on the front porch of my parents' house with a friggin' over-under shotgun. The new one I just bought my husband for like 10 years. Girl, he didn't even say it's crazy, like, related to this. Obviously, this person has very, very big mental health issues happening, but it's infuriating when people will sometimes hurt us. Hold on, hurt us.
These.
She's in a
Try these.
Okay, anyway, so I'm so delivered on this stuff. I was the OG
There. This one's
share
trash.
members more. No,
Cut.
I'm so delirious when I'm sick. It is
The
not
bag.
However, when people are like, just a piece
Here.
of paper, and it's like, yes, but then you have the paper trail as well. And then
Strainable.
you get the TRO. That means that hopefully they abide by it, that they can't contact you. They can't talk about you, right? If that is one of the stipulations in there. And again, I am not a lawyer. I'm just a dumb with a camera who knows too much about this specific topic, right? It's like a special interest of mine. Special interest of mine. God, makes me think of Kendra when he fell in love with his parents. Anyway, so with that, it's really frustrating and discouraging for other people as well. But I'm happy that she is saying this, is sharing her story, because realistically, like, you do have that paper trail. Then if they break the restraining order, then jail time, baby. Like, let's go. And these threats that this person's making and all of this crazy bullshit that he's putting out there, yeah, it doesn't seem like he would stop. So that's what you need to do. And does it take time? Yes. Does it take money? Unfortunately, yes. Can you crowdsource that? Hopefully.
Him and my friends began to monitor him because they were cousins. On his Facebook diary account, he starts to post accusing me of heinous disasters. He is accusing me and convinced that I am responsible of closed case disasters that took place before I was even born. He is also convinced that I am in cahoots with the Russian.
Worst case disasters, girl. What is he blaming? Is he blaming like the Holocaust on you? Are you John Wilkes Booth? Like, before you were born, what do you mean? Maggie Williams, more like Lee Harvey Oswald, am I right? Like, that right there. Obviously, yes, before we could see the red flags of a very mentally unwell person, but clearly with that, like, there's no reason with them. So yes, restraining order. These are the types of people who, like that one lady who tried to break into Keanu Reeves' car and kept sending him emails calling her his, like, divine wife or something like that. And it's like, some people will get mad and be like, oh, you don't need to be, like, so aggressive with these types of people for anyone. It's like, I understand that. But again, what is their intention? As I said, you don't have a good intention coming to someone's house that you don't know. You might think, oh, I'm just gonna say hi. They don't want to say hi to you. They don't know you. So no, so when people show up at these people's houses, no. You're being selfish. They don't know you. They don't want to see you. This is their safe space. Get out. Like, what are you doing? The same
friend of mine that I'm from Sleepy, Arkansas. So I would post what restaurants that I frequented at. I wanted to promote a local business. I had the same license plate on my truck from the time I was 16, which had my name on it. And I just posted like this for years. Well, I get home from this restaurant. I go to this Facebook profile, and this same night, he had posted a picture in front of a hotel that is half a mile from my college house. I can't find the air tag, but I read on Google that you need to run through a car wash. She says her son was a good kid all his life, lost his mind in his mid-20s, has no grasp of reality. And she says that he has been
This is the one I like.
talking
Because of that,
for years. She tried to
I
convince
like
him
this.
that
It's longer, but this is shorter. Blah, 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 blah. Right?
It's turkey season. What do I do?
Okay,
I'm a
cool.
college student. I leave town and I go turkey hunting for the next 3 months. I think it's only a small thing. I think it was about my vacation. I'm not staying in the same place for more than one night. But the harassment of messages and posts and comments will not stop. I thought I was being slick until one of my friends, who is also a creator, posted publicly that I was with them in real time, and he posted his little Facebook about it. And here's what I had to say. And then he said, "You know what I'm aunt freaking out the door telling me I'm in danger, but I don't know if that is his aunt or if that is him trying to reach me." A few days later, he posted online that he was going to farm at a very well-known branch of a huge global corporation that was working him. And then he gets on the wall. Well, I really want to encourage to stay solid and have also experience with
No.
It's really crazy, like, here's the thing, that you could say the line is, oh, it's crazy, like, he only got put in prison or jail or whatever, because he had threatened with a big corporation. But it's also like, if she didn't start that paper trail, like, what is gonna happen, right? Obviously, I think it would have been a little bit different. Of course, we don't know, but I do hope that it would have been a little bit different if she would have called me, like, I have a restraining order on this person, and please don't put an air tag on my car, like, something like that, you know, just on the car, and someone coming in, and you inspect it and find it, all that, right? If it was breaking on the restraining order, he would have been put into jail or prison or whatever prior to that. However, I do understand that it's easy said than done. Human factors and the aspects of all this in the legal system is not something a lot of people know about, and that's why people are like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. It's like, no, it's not. It's literally not just a piece of paper. My lord, it's so frustrating. It's something that could possibly
It is just a piece of paper, but it's a piece of paper that helps you on the way to nothing. Like,
I'm so happy that she's okay, and I'm so
if you have nothing, you have less than a piece of paper. So at least you have a piece of paper. Right?
So we're trying to give advice to resources and this is actually a really good one from a private investigator, and we've heard stuff like this before, but I think that it's good. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
So I was listening to something recently, and I thought I should share things you should do if you feel like you're being assaulted. Now, disclaimer, I am not law enforcement, I am not an attorney, and this is not legal advice. Now that we have all that, here's the first thing. If you follow a routine on a daily basis, change it up. Stalkers rely on patterns and predictability. So switch up what time you leave the house is safe, switch up the route that you take to work, switch up the coffee shop that you shop to every morning. Do not do the same exact thing every single day. Things gonna be healthy by you. Stalkers rely on you being intimidated, and quiet, and secretive about it, maybe because you're embarrassed and because you're scared. For whatever reason, they rely on that. So always tell someone what's going on so the people around you are aware. In case something does happen, you want someone to know what you've been going through. Being a thing, I always repeat that, and I think it should go without saying at this point, but I still feel like I need to repeat it. So pay attention to your surroundings. Okay, don't be a zombie walking around. Keep your head on the swivel.
That's
Know who's around you. Know what cars been following you. Know what cars you keep repeatedly seeing. Know the people that you keep repeatedly seeing.
that's right.
Be aware of your surroundings. And finally, you might want to keep something on you because at the end of the day, if you gotta defend yourself, a piece of paper's not gonna help.
Yes, absolutely. So I agree with that wholeheartedly, and I've always said that, like I said at the beginning of this video, you know, the like, oh, here's my day in the life, and sprinkle this time and this time and this time. Like if it's like a Sunday reset video and you're like at home, okay, fine. But I think it's important to not post everything online, and then also when you are somewhere, yeah, if you want to support a business, maybe do that like after you leave, or say days when you go there. And I know that I don't want to go outside, but I know it can be like kind of inconvenient sometimes because it's like, well, I want to share this, like I want to help this business, and I want to connect with people, and you know, my audience. And it's like, yeah, but there are people out there who don't have those intentions like you do, and I understand that question. Other things to think about is fine, but so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have great breaks of your day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. Please know that your butt looks good, and that you're avoiding the snoring on the day that I'm going to post this entire time. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope that every single morsel that you eat goes straight to that ass. I hope it goes straight to them cheeks, and if not, I hope it goes straight to your back. Yeah. Alright, well, I have to go film 4 more videos, and then maybe take a nap. Maybe my kid will stay asleep. Oh, no, he won't. I'm so
I can already set it up, but you know.
If you're subscribed, that looks good, and all that calories and juicy morsels are just gonna make your belly juicier, and if not, that's me. And that'll be kind of
This here. So I can grab all my stuff.
Out here, nothing says happy holidays like a great deal. Save big with Black Friday prices on safes, grills, swivel, and gifts you won't find anywhere else. The season's best deals are waiting. Save now at Tractor Supply. We got our cockpit carrying with our cockpit on the phone. And the amusing bit is there is no phone to point out. Oh there, the place even got a big speech.
Come here. Got that. I and that way, if anything goes wrong, I have everything right here. And also but the first thing I'll do, bag off. Spray with this, take my bag off, I put it in here. I have a mat. That there. Down. All up. And then so you have this bag to collect everything. So
Are you driving on public road there, Sophie? Also, do you have a stop shit on your phone?
totally forgot.
Premeditated stolen shippery?
Okay, I need your driver's license. I need vehicle registration.
you would have
I need your driver's license. This is a lawful stop. I need your driver's license. Are you refusing to give me your driver's license?
So you're just Eric, right?
Are you refusing to give me identification?
that way when I lay down, like I can
Okay, what is your name? You have to give me
do what I need to do. And I even took care of it. And what Iris doing? What Iris you doing? What doing? Hey, I will see.
I need your identification. I don't care if you consent. You don't have to consent.
What doing?
Okay.
Get your sergeant here. And why is
6'3"
your
from
camera on,
31.
sir?
It is on.
No, it's not.
You see that? You see that red light on the top? It's on.
Blinky.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's going on? We're not actually seeing footage, but we are. Blinky lights tend to be the recording indicator, you dick flute. Imagine advertising your stupidity on the internet. Well done.